When did your school ignore students getting seriously hurt? Food fighting was a massive problem at my middle school, and no one stopped it until I stepped in. It started small in early September when Arnold threw a single grape at his friend during lunch. By October, kids were launching full sandwiches across the cafeteria like grenades. The teachers tried everything, but nothing worked. I watched it all happen from my usual spot in the corner with my friends Alex and Goldie. We were the quiet kids who ate our lunches and minded our own business, but even we couldn't ignore what was happening around us. Every single lunch period turned into a war zone. The first real food fight happened on a Tuesday. Someone yelled, "Food fight," and suddenly the air was full of flying pizza slices and milk cartons. It lasted maybe 30 seconds before Principal Rosa showed up. A few kids got detention, but everyone else thought it was hilarious. That was the beginning of the end. By the second week, things escalated fast. Kids started planning their attacks and bringing extra ammunition. Tommy Chen brought 3 bags of grapes hidden in his backpack. Tammy Miller stuffed her pockets with dinner rolls from home. The popular kids made it into a competition to see who could cause the most chaos without getting caught. The third week got even worse. Someone discovered that mashed potatoes stuck to the ceiling tiles and created modern art up there. Chocolate milk became the weapon of choice because it stained everything brown. The janitor, Mr. Schwartz, started wearing a raincoat to work. Kids were sneaking in supplies like they were preparing for battle. Week 4 was when the administration completely lost control. They tried assigning teachers to patrol during lunch, but there were too many kids and not enough adults. They banned certain foods, but kids just got creative with what was left. They threatened suspensions, but nobody believed them anymore. The food fights had become bigger than any punishment. The worst one happened the day before Halloween. Someone brought in a whole pumpkin pie and frisbeed it across the room. It exploded against the wall like an orange bomb. Then everyone went crazy. Spaghetti flew through the air, leaving red sauce trails. Pudding cups became grenades. A whole tray of nachos got flipped upside down. Even all of the kids in the advanced classes joined in because they didn't want to get left out from the fun. Principal Rosa called an emergency assembly and screamed at us for 20 minutes. She said the next person to throw food would be expelled. She said our parents would be called. She said privileges would be taken away. But I could see it in kids' eyes that nobody was really listening. The food fights had become our identity. That night I lay in bed thinking about how insane everything had gotten. The cafeteria looked like a disaster zone every day. Kids were getting food in their hair and clothes. Parents were complaining about ruined uniforms. The lunch ladies were threatening to quit. Something had to change before someone got seriously hurt. I came up with my plan over Thanksgiving break. My family always made way too much food, and we had leftovers for weeks. But this year, I had a different idea for those leftovers. I carefully saved everything that was going bad. Turkey that was turning green, gravy with fuzzy spots, cranberry sauce that smelled like vinegar, stuffing that had seen better days. The Monday after Thanksgiving, I came to school with 2 grocery bags full of rotten holiday food. I recruited Alex and Goldie to help me distribute it before lunch. We put small containers at every table when nobody was looking. Kids thought it was someone's weird lunch at first. They had no idea what was coming. When lunch started, everything seemed normal. Kids were eating and talking like always. Then Jake Thompson picked up one of the containers and sniffed it. His face twisted in disgust, but he got that look in his eyes, the food fight look. He stood up and yelled the magic words that usually started everything. But this time was different. When Jake threw the first handful of rotten turkey, the smell hit everyone immediately. It was like a dead animal mixed with sour milk and moldy cheese. Kids started gagging before it even landed. Then more people grabbed the containers and started throwing without thinking. Within seconds, the cafeteria smelled like a dumpster in July. The rotten gravy splattered against the windows, leaving brown streaks that reeked. The moldy stuffing stuck to everything and released spores into the air. Kids were running for the exits, holding their noses. Some were bent over trash cans, trying not to puke. Then it happened. Tammy Miller threw up right in the middle of the cafeteria. That triggered a chain reaction. 5 more kids lost their lunches. The smell of vomit mixed with rotten food created a toxic cloud that cleared the room in under a minute. Even the teachers ran out gagging. Principal Rosa showed up to find an empty cafeteria that smelled like death. She had to call in a professional cleaning crew. They wore hazmat suits and spent 3 days sanitizing everything. The health department got involved. Parents were furious. The local news even did a story about it. The next week, they installed security cameras in the cafeteria and started checking everyone's bags at the door. Metal detectors got added the week after that. Teachers were stationed at every table. Lunch became like airport security. Nobody ever threw food again. Not because they were scared of getting in trouble, but because nobody could forget that smell.